Bro, come on, man.
We live.
Oh, we live. I know it says a message now and it cracks me up now. Every week it pops up there. It didn't used to do that. So
I went a later night.
let's give Cameron a round of applause tonight. How y'all doing? Happy Thursday. Y'all know what time it is. It's 7:15. I'm all the way on time tonight. You want to know why? Because my guest showed up early and inspired me to get on camera right on time tonight. So I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes, just like I always do, to go ahead and join on in. It's Thursday night. It's More Than a Pretty Face live talk show with your favorite host, C-Dub. I'm actually going to get rid of that name at one of these days, but y'all got to help me out because I'm just not feeling the C-Dub lately. I don't know if it fits my personality, but a lot of people call me that now, so I don't know if I can take it away. Can you change your own nickname? I don't know. But how y'all doing tonight? It's my favorite day of the week, going right into the weekend. What's going on this weekend? Highs Fest. Shout out to Cody out in Morenci. I'm very excited to go host an event. This is really the first outside event I've been asked to host. So I'm excited. It's a privilege to go host something. I actually was at Highs Fest 2023, and there was a ton of artists. I met a ton of artists last year, and I've actually stayed in touch with quite a few of them. People including, I think T-Runs was there. Definitely Roz Accurate, Tempest Van Gogh, of course, Highs. Destiny J, they're all going to be there this year, at least in the audience if they're not performing. I believe most of them anyway. T-Runs has an event Saturday, so he won't be there. But I met a ton of great people at that festival last year, and I was asked to come back and host this year, so I appreciate Cody for that invite. So me and some of the team will be out in Morenci, y'all. If you know where that's at, it's down by the border of Ohio. It's a nice cornfield drive out there. So if you're going, I encourage you to just drive safe, especially coming back. It'll be late. The deer are out. It is that season. So I encourage you, if you're coming to that event or anybody that's going to that event or just in general, just be safe. Deer season has arrived and they're everywhere. We were coming up Cooper Street the other day and there was 4 deer just at Nixon Park, right? And standing by the skate park. I don't know if they want to go skating or what was happening, but it's always just weird to me seeing deer in the city because that was not a thing when we were kids. You had to literally go to the country to see a damn deer. So the fact that they're just right in the city now just means that a couple things are happening. One, we're taking away their vegetation, right? We're taking away their living area because we're cutting down all the trees. And they're probably just overpopulated in Michigan in general. So just drive safe this weekend, whatever you're doing. If you plan on coming out to Highs Fest, doors open at 4:00. Pre-sale tickets, I think, are still going on. Cody, if you're here, correct me if I'm wrong, through tomorrow. Doors open tomorrow at 5, 4:00 on Saturday. So it's a Morenci Event Center. If you type in Morenci Event Center, it'll give you the address. I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't know the drinking situation. I don't know if you're allowed to drink there or not. So Cody, if you're here, tap in. I know you're busy. You're getting ready to set up for Highs Fest. So if you're here, tap in and let me know. Nonetheless, it's going to be a dope vibe, you guys. I will be there hosting with my team by my side, and I just can't wait to be there and meet some more artists that are coming. I was trying to pull up this flyer, but I do not know where I have it right now, so I'm going to hold off on that. I got a couple of wonderful guests coming to you guys this evening. I have one returning guest. He's actually been here a couple times now. Many of you guys now know him from being on my show and also being a head coach of the Jackson Battlehawks semi-pro football team here in Jackson. So Brandon Workman will be joining me here in a little while. But before we bring him on, I have his wonderful mother here with me. She is a hero in her own right. The reason she's here is because me and her had a wonderful conversation. I went out to the fundraiser for the Battlehawks, and me and her engaged in a great conversation. And she is a wonderful hero in our community. And she was awarded a great award. So we're going to bring her on and talk about that and talk about what she does in our community, because it takes people like her to really give back to our community in another way. And you guys know how I feel about our community. I love to give people their roses while they're here. So we're going to bring her on in just a couple minutes. But if you guys are here, Let me know where you're watching from. If you're on my main page, Carrie Whitaker, if you're on More Than a Pretty Face, or if you're coming to me from Catch My Vibe Radio. Of course, you guys know we're filmed live every week here at Catch My Vibe at 302 West Prospect Street in Jackson, right next door to one of my sponsors, Brass Rail. Next month, there is a little bit of update in the schedule, so I'm just going to give that to you guys now. I know that I said I will always be with you guys the third Thursday of every month at the Brass Rail, but in October, the schedule is changing a little bit for a couple reasons. There's 5 Thursdays in October, which I didn't realize that until I just went back to my calendar. Not Thanksgiving, Halloween falls on a Thursday, so I will not be going live on the 31st. I will also not be going live on the following week. So I'm going to take a 2-week break. I have some traveling to do. So I'm going to be going the 4th Thursday of the month, Thursday, October 24th. We will be live at the Brass Rail. I'm not sure who's on my calendar for that day, but we will have a special guest there. And I'm gearing up October's calendar now, since October is already next week. And how the hell did we get here? Because what is happening right now? I feel like I just put out my September calendar, you guys, and this is my last September guest of the month. Like, what happened to September? So I will give it to you now because I have not put out my calendar for October. I have a special guest coming next week, Mo Williams. I don't know if you guys know him. Many of you should. He is from here. He has expanded his wings and taken his journey outside of Jackson. He's a man of many hats, and we're going to bring him to the More Than a Pretty Face live talk show couch. Me and him have had some great conversations behind the scenes. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. He's an MMA fighter, and he's a great person in his own right. So we're going to bring him to the couch next week, and I'm excited to bring him here as well. If you guys stay tuned with me, season 2 is still not even quite halfway through. Last season, I think I went 18 episodes. We're on episode 10 right now. So we still got some guests coming to you this season. And if you guys keep rocking with me, you'll definitely continue to see some dope people come sit on the couch with me. So I'm just excited. 2024 has just been absolutely amazing. I have many people asking me, when did I start my podcast? How did I get here? I'm not going to go into that tonight because it's not really why I'm here. But for those that are new or maybe have not been here before, I've been in the podcast scene now just a little over a year. I was invited to be a guest on somebody else's podcast, which 6 months into that turned into me actually hosting my own podcast here as More Than a Pretty Face. I flipped it to a live talk show. I don't feel like it fits the podcast platform necessarily. Podcasts are typically taped and then presented to people after the fact. I wanted to present it for what it is, which is a live talk show. And so I've been coming to you guys live as my own brand since February, or very early February. It's been an exciting journey. 2024 has been nothing short of amazing. I swear I have traveled a lot this year, have met a lot of great people. With my team here at Catch My Vibe, we have been in a lot of places, in a lot of spaces. You guys know we just had a big battle rap event last 2 weekends ago now almost. Stay tuned for December. There's some big things happening. And we're just excited about everything that's happening over here. So I appreciate all you guys that are here with me tonight. Like I said, I appreciate got some people from Kalamazoo, Michigan Center. I got Wendy watching, Angie. I got my partner in crime, Chuck, watching with us. And I just appreciate you guys being here. I'm not going to hold up you guys anymore. You know, I'm a certified yapper and I'll sit here and talk all night. It's been confirmed by all people around me. I can talk for many, many hours and never not have something to say. So I'm going to cut my own self off. I'm going to bring this wonderful woman to the couch. I want you guys to welcome with me, Miss Shelley. I don't know how to say your middle name. Is it Keinath? Keinath-Workman to the couch. So you guys welcome her on in. Come on and have a seat, beautiful. How are you doing tonight?
Good.
Welcome to More Than a Pretty Face.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you for being here. So for you guys that do not know, like I said, she is Coach Brandon Workman's mother. So it is the graciousness of her that brought him here and allows him to have the opportunity in our community. But she's many more things than just a mother. She is a hero in our community, but I'm going to go ahead and let you know who she is just a little bit. And then we're going to get off into the things that you do and how that affects your overall everything that kind of happens in your life. So let people know who you are, Miss Shelley.
Okay, so I actually work for Beacon Specialized Living, so we take care of the mentally ill and disabled, and we have homes all over the state of Michigan. We've also branched out to other states. One thing that I'm really proud of is that when I started with Beacon a little over 6 years ago, we started with 2 homes here, one in Jackson, one in Leslie. And then we expanded. And so now I call them the Jackson 7. But within the Jackson region too, we have like the Lapeer home, Saginaw home. We have 2 in Lansing. And then we have 1 in Carlton and 1 in Ypsilanti. So now we're the Jackson 13.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I started as a home manager at the Jackson home. And then I went to being a trainer. And then I went to a district director position, which a district director is over all the homes. And then there's a home manager in each home because we are adult foster care living. So they live in homes, which is theirs. And then we, support them, help them, guide them, take care of them. We have a nursing crew that's really wonderful. Wendy's on here. Shout out to Wendy, the nurse. Angie is actually one of our recruiters from Kalamazoo. We are stationed out of Kalamazoo. That is where Beacon Specialized Living is. So then after that, I just got promoted to AVP over the East Side region. So now I'm over 28 homes.
Nice.
I travel a lot. It can be testy and it can be tiring, but it's all worth it. So some of the things we do at Beacon is like we, do like like this month is Suicide Awareness Month. I think it's a very important month that we surely know that we should have suicide awareness like all year long, every day,
absolutely,
because you just never know what somebody's going through. A lot of people don't understand mental illness, so that's one of the things that we like to do is advocate and educate people, because we do get a lot of people in the public that want to be afraid, or want to say things. And I think it's just not educating themselves and understanding what mental illness is.
Yeah. That's something I think isn't talked about enough in general. Mental health, mental illness, the different areas, right? We have people that are schizophrenic. We have people that are bipolar. There's many facets to mental health in the levels of the turmoil that people that struggle with mental health, like many of us actually really do. There's just many levels and facets of it, but there isn't enough education. I don't think there has ever been enough really education around it, as well as disabilities.
Exactly.
I don't think that we talk about it enough. I don't think that we educate our children enough to understand people just have different abilities, right? They're not disabilities. People are just differently able to do things. And I think that's something that we really need to empower each other to talk about a little bit more.
Yeah. So I was lucky that, my mom and dad had, when I was younger, an AFC home, and it was a family AFC home, but it was with the elderly. So when I was 13, to like 18, 16, 18 or something, so my brother and I grew up in taking care of the elderly. Then my mom and dad got a divorce, and then my mom and stepdad opened up Culver's AFC home, which was right behind like Jackson High on Carr Street. And it was a 10-bed home. And when she told me I was going to work there, I was like, no, I'm not, because I was, again, somebody that hadn't been well educated on the developmentally disabled or the mentally ill. And she was like, well, yeah. And then, I started, looking into it myself. And then I opened up my own, which my children ended up growing up in. So for 12 years, I had Genesis Homes of Jackson out by JCC College. And my residents lived in our home with us, the family, 24/7. And I think that was such a great thing for my kids to experience and understand, I always said if we could have cameras in our home, we'd have beat out the Ozzy
any
show.
reality show. Right. I mean, to think about that. Actually, me and Brandon had a conversation about that one day. We talked about him growing up, you know, having the family living in the house with you guys. But he was, he did say how it always made him feel like he just understood things differently, right? Because he was in a different position than most children were. And so he definitely, as you know, a son of yours, he appreciates that he was there to see that. And I mean, I'm sure he's proud, right? Just you've only touched like a surface of what you've done. But already just the amount of care that you've given back to the communities here in Jackson and the surrounding areas is amazing. So it sounds like generationally this has been going on. Your parents had a home. Now did they get it from their parents, or they started this and now you've kind of continued on? And
well, it actually started with my cousin Missy when she married her husband. Most people know Isabel, and she was on Cooper Street. She had a couple houses, and that's way back when really a lot of people just shunned, like, you know, people with mental illnesses. And I think she kind of set that stage for us to expand, you know, that. So when my mom started working for her, then that's kind of how we got into that part, you know. But my mom was a CNA. She worked with the elderly. And then we, you know, that's how my mom and dad we actually took over Pam Claudel. That's another name that's out there. That's an old one. They actually took over that. That was ours on Plateau Drive, was where Pam had it, you know, one before. And so that's kind of how they kind of got into that with my mom working. I think she actually worked in Vandercook, where I think there's a car lot, and then it used, then Weatherwax is behind it.
Okay.
There used to be the hospital there. That's Isabel had opened a home there in that hospital. So when I was a kid, I always went there.
Oh, okay.
You know, so just being around them too, but not understanding the whole concept of what mental health was, because of course I was young, but I knew that they had, you know, had issues and troubles, but I didn't really dive deep in until I actually started working at, you know, Culver's and educating myself. It's one of the things we love to do. I remember it's probably 8 years ago, I went up to the state capitol and I talked about it, and because I think we are failing our mental health.
I think my first experience that I remember as a younger kid with knowing something wasn't right. I didn't know what to call it back then, but my mom's biological dad showed up kind of out of nowhere. We never knew him as a kid. And I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. And he was a Vietnam vet, which we all know a lot of them experience PTSD, mental health issues right after returning from those type of traumatic situations. He somehow ended up having to live with us, right? And it was a very short period of time, because soon after he moved in, he was like trying to convince me and my brother and sister. My brother was 4 years younger than me, so he was only about 2 or 3 at the time. My sister was maybe 9 or 10. He was trying to convince us that like our house was a target for a war, and like they were gonna bomb us, and like all of this like outrageous like stuff, right? And we were like, so he was like, we were outside and he was like, man, you guys see you see the helicopters? Like they're about to jump out on us. You know what I mean? Like if you see them, I'll give you $1. So he was like giving us money to just agree with him. We didn't know what was going on. We ended up taking him up to a psychiatric hospital in Ypsilanti. And that was one of the last times I ever seen my grandpa, right? But it was one of the scariest for me as a little girl. We were dropping him off, but they were like in the windows and just screaming and right, they're up here all suffering from mental, and we just had no clue. And there was no education after that from our parents. Like we just thought he was crazy. Like that's what we grew up thinking, that he was just crazy, when in reality, he actually really had some mental health stuff going on, right? I don't even know if he ever really got the help or not. Like I said, we didn't ever really see him, but that was, as a little girl, we just didn't understand that. And it took many years of being an adult to even really begin to understand that. But that's because of other things that I seen and had to start educating myself. What causes people to want to harm themselves? What causes people to want to commit suicide, right? Because I had experienced people close to me trying to harm themselves. And so I had to educate myself. but it's educating ourselves. But what are we trying to figure out? What are we looking for, right? If we don't know, then it's just kind of, you can go down a rabbit hole. You don't know what you're looking for. Who do you talk to? How do you get the right answers, right? But it's people like you that are out here doing the work, have been in the work, have been in the homes, and are really experiencing life with these individuals that make it important for you to sit down and have a voice to help us understand what it is you do on a day-to-day basis, right? You're doing a job that many people are either not willing to do, or some people get into it for the wrong reasons. And that's
Correct.
a whole nother conversation that we won't really expand on. Wendy, I see your comments. Definitely reach out to me. I would love to have you come sit on my couch, especially with, everything that's going on. Mental health is something that I love to talk about, just because it is a very taboo topic for whatever reason. Even though I think sometimes we see the signs in other people, or see something maybe has shifted for people, we don't know how to even speak on it. Like, how do you really even have that conversation with somebody without making them feel bad, or making them feel worse than they maybe already
feeling.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that, we try to educate our staff on, how to deal with, somebody with schizophrenia. We also do, like, the autism homes. I have two of them. I have one over by Cascades, and then I have one, and I actually have three. I beg to differ, because both of my Lansing homes are autism, and then the one here in Jackson is autism. And that is another one that people don't always understand. Autism, and it's such a wide spectrum too. I mean, there could be one person here, but over here, but helping staff is probably one of the things that can be very difficult. So we do have a nice clinical team that comes in and tries to educate, as well as our nurses and stuff, and just giving them the trainings on things to, how you de-escalate somebody. People are all different. So it's not a cookie cutter thing. People are all different for sure. And I think the other thing is that not everybody with mental illnesses live in an AFC home.
Right.
It's everywhere. You just never know. That's why you should be kind, because you don't know what somebody is going through. So be kind. Be humble and kind.
It's one of those things. I think sometimes we it's just easy in life to be human and forget that other people are going through things way worse than we are, even when we're having what we feel in the moment is one of the worst days, right? It's such a hard, deep breath that we have to take sometimes, and just remind ourselves, like, things could be so much worse, and for many people are actually. And many times it doesn't meet the eye. It's not something you outwardly see somebody going through when they're dealing with that inside, right? We don't really know what's happening. So being kind and really just showing people pure love and care is really important. So let's talk about one of the things that I think is just super cool, and I think you're very, very well deserving. You were nominated and then awarded the 2024, I believe I'm going to say this right, Healthcare Angel Award.
Yep, it's the Jackson Magazine Healthcare Angel Award. They've been doing it for the last 17 years, and I have been nominated for other awards too. NAMI's another one, the National Alliance for with mental, the mental health or illnesses and institution, but which was really cool when I got that, nomination, because that's statewide.
Right.
And I did it 2022 and 2024.
That's awesome.
But when I got the email about this, I was like, because this is my hometown.
Yeah.
This one really just was like awesome, especially because, I grew up here, been in this field for so long here.
Right.
That this one was really, really special.
It makes you, it kind of brings everything back full circle almost in that moment where you're like, listen, nobody does their passionate work to be seen. But when you've given so much for so long, it's nice when your community finally says, we do see you and we understand the work that you're doing is important, right? And so kudos to our community for recognizing that and having these type of awards, which is another reason that I felt it was important to have some kind of award here at More Than a Pretty Face, because there is so many deserving people in our community that they're not in it for that, right?
Right.
But it's important that sometimes we just say, listen, we know you're not in it for that, but we do see you and you're doing amazing work. And so I thank you. I know, I have family that my great nephew is on the spectrum. He's been nonverbal. He's 6 now and he's talking now. They just came back from Kentucky and they're working hard to really get him situated, to get him an IEP. But he's thriving. He's doing amazing. And so I love to see people that really actually truly care about our community that we call not normal, right? We always want to outcast people. They're normal, you guys. They just learn different. That's literally it. Same thing with somebody's abilities being different than ours. Somebody having to be in a wheelchair doesn't mean they're disabled. It just means they're differently abled. And I think that those are things that we should really try to educate and continue to talk about with people. You never know how life can unfold.
You're just a head bump away from being somebody with a brain injury, and now you're in a wheelchair and you can't walk
or having to be cared for.
I think too that people need to for real educate themselves. And one of the things that I love about Beacon too is they're so about getting the people, our residents that, and individuals we care for out in the community, doing community things. So when there's things going on, we get them to these events, so then people can, interact, be around them. And then you get people that will actually ask questions, then you'll get somebody talking about, how do we, place somebody, within, Beacon. And so it's really neat to just get that involvement. Beacon hasn't been in, like I said, about 6 years in Jackson, a little over 6. And so a lot of people are like, well, what's Beacon? So that's why we've been trying to get our name out here and do things. Getting in the Jackson magazine, coming on this show, the Battlehawks, we sponsored them. So, we helped out with concessions and stuff, but we'd have our Beacon stuff out there. So people come up and be like, what's Beacon? So we can explain it, So I think we're starting to get that, revved
get that
up.
traction.
Yeah. And it's just, I just want people to understand that because our residents will have bad days and they'll be like, I just want to be normal. I'm like, what is normal? There's really
like
no
what really
thing.
is normal, honestly. I mean, I always say that, like, in general, because I think the battle that we all fight, especially in this world of social media and all the comparison that we do, right? You're looking at other people saying, like, I'm not them, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not normal, right? Like, when in reality, what's normal for you may not be normal for somebody else in a real world, right? And it shouldn't be. That's why we're all who we are, so that we can have our individual life, so we can have our individual joy and peace and happiness, which is not the same for everybody. And that's fine. That's really how the world should be.
Yes.
That's it's just how it should be. In general, where do you want to take this path? Because you're doing a lot right now. You have a lot of homes you're handling. About how many residents do you believe are under your care, like on all these homes?
So if you take like 28 times 6, and
that's a lot.
Normally our 6-bed homes, we got a few 4-beds.
So we're talking almost 150 people.
I mean, it's a lot. Then
that's a lot of people, you guys.
The staff that we have to maintain too. So COVID kind of hit that whole thing. And the jugular, like everywhere else. So recruiting can be tough, as my recruiter Angie will vouch for.
Now, if we're talking recruiting, what does it take if there's somebody that really wants to be in this line of work? Like, what does it take for someone to really be there and to be able to do the type of work? Now, obviously, they got to do some years to get to where you're at. You can't jump in where she's at, you guys. You got to climb the ranks. But if somebody is interested in general in doing a lot of this is in-home care, what do they need to do, or what education steps can they take to get to that point to be able to work in a home like Beacon?
So we do a really good onboard new hire training. So we teach you, train you how to do medications, pass them, our electronic stuff, which is we're the portal with everybody's healthcare information, things like that. We do contract with Lifeways. That's how we get most of our, residents or individuals. And they, they have plans that we need to go by. They have behavioral plans that
Gotta follow.
sometimes they don't work. And that's why it's really, I always say that the direct care workers are the oil to our engine, because if we didn't have them, our engine would seize up. So and it does take a special person to do this.
It does. You got to have a love for people to do this job.
They have to be 18. They have to have need to have a driver's license.
Angie's on it. She said, do it. To follow Angie's rules, y'all. Go to the comments and follow Angie's rules. She said, I got you if you want a career.
She is a very great recruiter.
That's awesome.
We love Angie. Angie and I are going to Jamaica at the end of October.
Oh, shoot, look at her coming on the show bragging. She didn't even invite me all day. She going out the country to Jamaica. That's exciting. When are you going? You said end of October?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Short trip. So it's fun. So you build, that's the other thing, when you, start in come to Beacon. We're like a big old family. I promise you. We have fun.
Right.
We do, September is also Direct Care Appreciation Month. We do a big old party, for our direct care workers. It's so fun.
That's awesome.
I mean, we do, and there's also all kinds of things we do for our residents. We have competitions all the time, like, decorating for Christmas, they'll be like, like, I don't even know if it was like called Catch My Vibe or whatever, but it was, doing my crib or whatever that day is. And so the residents got to like decorate their room all out, and it was a competition, and they win things, We do fishing contests for the smallest fish and the biggest fish.
Oh, that's cute.
So they're fun. So we keep them busy. It's really fun. And when you come to work for Beacon, you're part of all that. It's really neat.
That's awesome.
Beacon offers a lot, for our residents and our staff. So I really enjoy working for Beacon. Listen, no company is like, 100%.
Listen, y'all. Y'all about to see me get on my team in a second. If y'all don't shut up over there for real. Your voice is loud, sir. I know you're whispering, but your voice is loud.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have my guest come beat you up when she get offset, bro.
Oh, I know.
You have permission.
They're probably going, and you got.
They over there like, who is talking in the background? I'm sorry, y'all. I love y'all, but y'all gotta shut up.
Yeah, we have two really highly medical homes too. Now that really takes a special brand, because we're talking, people that, you give meds through and feedings through feeding tubes and, the colostomy bags and everything. It's Hoyer lifts. It's very, very, very medical. And we have two of those. One's in Hillsdale, the Salem home, and Sheffield's over by Jackson Christian.
You're all over. So you're really everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's awesome though. That's awesome.
Everywhere. So it's really neat. And like I said, we do big 4th of July parties. We do this trunk or treat thing. And then, we try to interchange, with everybody, even our families, because we're just all a big family, but
that's what makes it good though. At least makes it, you can go to work, love what you do, be around good people. There's nothing better than that, right? That's really, if you can get there in life, which everybody doesn't get that path, right? But if you can do what you love, make money doing it, and be around people that you care about, there's nothing better than that. At least
nothing better than going into them. I used to always say, because my county farm home is just like, there's a guy there, it's hilarious, but I'm like, yep, if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to county farm, because man, do they just be like, oh, Shelley's here. Yay! Giving me a hug, and I'm all like,
you need people like that in your life. So you need people like that.
I always say the staff is harder than our residents. The job is not that, it's a hard job. Don't get me wrong. It's sad when you have to, see somebody falling apart and you're just trying to get together as a team and figure out how do we help this person, but staff.
That's rewarding.
And we have some great staff. Let me tell you, there's some that have been here over 5 years. And so
that's awesome.
Kudos,
Yeah.
I've had my managers and the Jackson 7 managers. We've got one that are, they're coming up on their 5-year mark too. So I don't have that turnover in that, which is great too, because that is crucial. Even for, especially for our clients, it's too much if you can't retain staff and home managers, because they don't do well with change. There's a lot of people that don't do well with change.
She said the music is best there. She must be talking about County Farm Road. Listen, I'm going to County Farm Road. It's not like they're having a party out there. 85 homes in Michigan and 8 other states, and still growing. That's awesome. Beacon sounds like an amazing company, you guys. So if you're in that field of work and you're looking for a great place to work, they're recruiting people.
All the time. come on out. You know what? There's all different types of homes. So if maybe you're not into the medical, that's fine. We'll put you with the autism. Maybe you haven't done autism. We'll put you with the high behavioral or the, medium low behavioral. We have so many different homes to go to that even if you get there and then you try it out and be like, okay, I don't know if this is right for me. That's okay. Cause we'll be like, hey, how about you go do a shadow shift at this other home?
Right.
Tell me how you like it. If that's where you want to go, then that's right. We've had people switch homes 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Because they just had to find their right, place.
Which in this line of work, again, is important. You have
Mm-hmm.
to have that good balance and it has to feel right to make it comfortable for the residents and for the staff in general.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to leave for the community before you head out?
You need to make sure that you go for the, the suicide awareness walks. Get with the autism walks. Let me tell you, our autism walks with our ones that are at Cascades is always it's an
that
adventure.
Upcoming, or it's what time of the year is it?
May.
I can't remember what time of the year that
around
is.
In May, and then obviously the suicide awareness is in September, but it's actually pretty fun.
There you guys go. Make sure you're staying educated or dig into some education about mental illness, mental health, different abilities, and just be kind, like Shelley said, to each other. You just never know what somebody's going through. I know a lot of times, and listen, we all have bad days, right? And it's easy to point the finger when somebody else is having that bad day, but sometimes it just takes somebody. Listen, you might need to just give somebody a hug. Mm-hmm. If you're not a huggy person, just ask somebody how they're doing. Sometimes it just takes a stranger to say, I see you and I know you're having a bad day. Mm-hmm. Let me just check on you, and it can turn someone's day around. So I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Like I tell all my guests, you're always welcome to come back. I'd love to bring Angie back. So you guys are welcome to come back and
oh my God,
let's have another in-depth
Wendy
conversation.
Wendy's one of our nurses. She is just like, she's a
oh yeah, it was
too.
Wendy that asked
Angie's
me. All y'all
too.
can come. It'll be a party on the More Than a Pretty Face couch, but we'll talk about some critical things that are super important. Mm-hmm. Additional ways that we really can deep dive into how to educate ourselves about those things, and then how we can give back. So we'll gather that conversation and I'll bring these ladies back to the couch because it's something that isn't a once a year conversation or a 1 month a year conversation. It's something that we do got to continue to talk about. I tell anybody that if you've contemplated or you've thought about suicide, please reach out to somebody. As a little girl, I watched my dad try to commit suicide. And then furthermore, my children's father and my ex-husband all tried to commit suicide in front of me. It's nothing that you ever want to go through and experience. And you never, ever want to leave that scar in your child's heart. I promise you. It's not that I've never forgiven my dad, but I'll never be able to erase what that looked like when it happened, right? And I was 7 or 8 when that happened. If I close my eyes and talk about it, I can see the scene just like it was yesterday, right? You don't want to scar your kids like that. Know that someone loves you. We love you. Someone cares about you. Reach out to somebody. Suicide prevention. 988 is a number that you can reach out to. If you just need someone to talk to, my line is open. I tell people all the time, message me. I'm a cool ass person. I'll have a conversation with you, but definitely know that somebody cares about you and you're better here than not. So I appreciate you, Shelley, for being here. Thank you for being early and on time for me. That's no dig to her son who's sitting on the other side of the room, literally at all, because things just work out how they're supposed to. But I do appreciate you being here, and I appreciate everything you're doing in the community. And thank you for everything you're doing for Beacon.
Thank you. And we'll get our people here.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is my people are going to be like, Shelley was on time for something?
She was here early, y'all.
I was early and on time.
She was early and on time. Yes, she was. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
I absolutely appreciate you. I'm sure I will be seeing you as this wonderful football season is on its way. If there's anything I can do to help too, just reach out and let me know. I'll be there to help as well. So CMV as well. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yay! Y'all gonna clap for Shelley or not? Hey, come on, clap, clap. Oh, shoot! Clap, clap. Oh, man. I love y'all. I love my viewers. I appreciate y'all. Show might go a little long tonight, but y'all good. I used to do 90 minutes steady every week on this boy. I done cut it down to an hour on y'all secretly, but I'm not gonna hold y'all up. I'm gonna bring my next guest right on over. So come on over, Mr. Brandon. Coach Brandon Workman, y'all. Clap, clap. Got the clappers going tonight. How you doing, sir?
Good. Real
You
good.
tired? Exhausted?
not really, no.
Not too bad. You wasn't the one practicing.
No, just coaching, You know how it is.
For those of y'all that do not know who this is Mr. Brandon Workman. He is head coach, owner, all things Jackson Battlehawks. All things football right now. I mean, we're not going to talk about the team he likes, but it is football season, and he is doing many, many things, including just had tryouts last night.
Yep.
Tryouts last night for the Battlehawks. So we'll just start there, and then we'll kind of talk about last season and go into this season, and we'll just talk about some shit.
Well, tryouts have been awesome. First 2 weeks ago, we had 15 guys, some new, some existing. And then yesterday we had 15 guys again. And it's been, it's a great turnout considering last year we'd be lucky to get 8 people out.
Right.
So, but no, we'll have another tryout coming in 2 weeks. It's going to be October 9th, Wednesday, 6 to 7:30. Ella Sharp, come on out.
October 9th?
9th, yeah.
October 9th, 6 to 7:30. Ella Sharp, you guys, if you guys want to get out here and play some rough and tumble football out here. How many people you guys got coming back from last year?
Oh, almost all of them.
Almost everybody.
Sure going to come back.
Yeah. I figured as much, but I don't know if there were some people that said, nah, we heading the hell out, or if they said we coming back for our ring rightfully.
There's like 3 or 4 guys that are not going to return, but most of our team is returning, and we already have, I would say, 6 new guys that came out, and hoping to get some more new guys, and it's going to be a hell of a season. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. So for those of you that were not either tuning in with me or maybe weren't aware of the Jackson Battlehawks, it came to my attention when you guys were on 105.3. They didn't know who the hell you guys were. That shocked me. That was weird to me. I said, listen, y'all didn't get the first interview. I did. How about that?
For real.
Take that. 105.3. No, I'm just playing. It was weird to me though, because it's like, dang, how did how did our city radio station not know you guys were here? I mean, you guys been here for a little while now. Yeah. So last year you guys' season record was 5-4.
Yep.
Overall had a great season.
Yeah, Western Conference champions.
You also were awarded Coach of the Year. Yep. So I got 2 awardees tonight on my couch. They both are awardees. That's exciting. So I went to a few games. Flint was interesting. We're not going to go into a lot of detail, but listen, y'all, Flint had me pissed. Let's just start with their mosquitoes. Can we just start with the Flint mosquitoes? What in the hell are y'all feeding the mosquitoes in Flint? It was the worst mosquitoes I have ever been around in my entire life. I'm not kidding you. I got there at halftime. And by like mid third quarter, I was like, I'm about to go, bro. These mosquitoes are tearing us up out here. It was an interesting game to watch. Of course, their team was well established. They made it very clear that their team was established. Yeah. Seemed like some bull going on the field. Like I said, I didn't get there till halftime. But in general, I felt like you guys still played a hell of a game, even though you guys were kind of up against everybody in Flint.
Yeah, and we had like I said, it was our first season. We had a heck of a season, and guys were banged up from that Western Conference Championship game, and we didn't get a lot of practice in. And that was a team that we pretty much assembled, 2 weeks before the season started. We kind of merged, and so that's what I'm saying. This next year, I'm very excited because we're going to have not just the off season, but we're going to have a preseason, and we're going to be able to do scrimmages as a team instead of just,
kind of throwing everybody on the field.
And then, there's going to be a lot more to it this year. It's going to be a lot more professional atmosphere at practices, at games. We're trying to hire full-time everything, announcer, stat trackers. We need to hire people for camera and social media, just everything. We're trying to make it a really good display of semi-pro football.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a lot, bro. You're out here. I mean, you kind of took this team on in kind of a drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Brandon just kind of said, "Yep, here I am. I'm guess I'm taking over everything." That was a big take on, right? Especially going from you were started assistant coach. Remind me.
Yeah, I was just like pretty much assistant coach.
Like an assistant coach.
Yep.
So assistant coach all the way to owner and doing everything for the team with, of course, the help of his family.
Yeah. I was just saying shout out to my team that I had, my family for making all the home game stuff possible. You know, like I said, doing the door concessions and just help setting everything up, getting everything going.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. Even watching you guys travel to Flint, when I left there that night, I was like, man, I'm glad they're all staying. That was a long ass ride home. But just all the stuff, watching you guys tear down, you know, watching everyone tear down the stuff on the field. I mean, that's a job in itself. So it does take a lot to travel, take the whole team. Obviously, you're trying to make sure everyone's got places to stay and everything,
that's the thing.
you know,
like
kind of
happening. We're looking for personnel. So if you know someone who's a good, like being a trainer or something to help out with taping or injured players, stretching people out, you know, come on, be a part of the team. We need it.
They need help, y'all. They need help. He's calling y'all. We got all kind of recruiting happening more than a pretty face. Y'all can't tell me y'all don't know where to go to get something happening for yourself. I know better. Y'all lying if you tell me you don't know where to get a job or if you don't know where to go work on some football stuff. So you got tryouts coming up. Again, October 9th. When does actual season start for football? Because like you guys' season was weird as hell because it's like off football season. Kinda.
It's a summer league, so we're gonna start in May, our official season. We'll be full-time practicing January, and then that's where we're gonna name starters and stuff like that too, so we can get position-based practices going. But I would say around March, April, we're gonna be doing some scrimmages.
There you go, you guys.
There'll be some games to come to and
check
out. And like I said, we need people too. So before next season, if you want to play some football, come on out.
So they need players. They need all kind of people, you guys. So tap in with Brandon.
It's a lot of fun. Great atmosphere.
It is. The guys are cool as hell. I mean, I've been to enough games now and been around the environment in general. It's fun to have something like that for your city in general. And we really would love to see the support happen. I think now that K105.3 is aware, and kind of in the loop, hopefully they'll be able to push, you know, your information out there for you guys, with the advertising, as far as just letting people know that you got games coming up. Who knows what that looks like in general, but I'm just saying, it's nice to get the name out there and let people of Jackson know there's stuff happening like that, because clearly everyone wasn't aware, right? But I feel like as the season went on, the support in Flint was amazing. I felt there was a lot of people in Flint. I wasn't really expecting it, but a lot of people showed up for you guys up there, and that was just awesome to see. The city
in our last
support,
the Western Conference game, there was a lot of people.
Was there?
It was awesome. You know, we love that, and the environment helps a lot. It really does.
Yeah, you need the momentum behind your team, especially when you're going up against, you know, in some cases, these cities that have established teams, they have established, audiences already that are regularly going to the game. So it's nice to look up and see your own people in the stands too and have that support.
Yes.
What else is happening with Battlehawks outside of all of that?
Well, so Saturday we got the chili classic. So come down and, you know, try our chili. And my grandma has won these before. She's been in many of them. She's going to be the one cooking. So
he said he ain't taking no credit, Granny.
No. So, you know, she's going to make some good chili. So come down and give us a vote.
You guys go down and I'm sure he's going to have some Michigan decorations, because he said he's doing tailgate style.
It's going to be the whole tailgate style. The game will be on.
He's going to have his TV.
Yeah,
I'm
TV
sure.
there and everything.
Oh, I'm sure he's not going to miss the game. I can imagine that he's definitely not missing the game.
Nope, it'll be on.
I am unfortunately going to miss the chili cook-off. I have an event I'm hosting Saturday, so I will not be here. I'll be in Morenci hosting an event, a crazy ass music event. It's a very long one, but it's exciting. There's a lot of artists there. So I won't be there, but good luck to your chili, because I bet it's going to be good. We went last year. I love the chili cook-off. I just love that we have stuff like that in Jackson in general. Like,
I love downtown too.
Some of the shit is sketchy though, y'all. Don't be scared to spit it in the trash, because some of that chili is not good. I'm sorry. Like, listen.
Well, thanks for the warning.
Like,
thought it was all going to be good.
No, First of all, make sure you know what kind of meat you're eating because they do not all use regular meats that you think you're eating. So make sure you know what meat they're. Most of them,
I
if
got
they're
a little
not
nervous.
It's not anything bad. I'm just saying in general, there's people that'll use veal. You know what I'm saying? People use different kinds of meat. So don't expect that it's just gonna be ground beef in your damn chili. It's not. There's a lot of white chicken chili that's good. So the white chicken chilies are but there was 2 or 3 last year. I'm not kidding you. I don't know what
They was trying
what they were doing, but I was like, me and my best friend were like, bro, we can't even do it. Like, we cannot do this. I mean, some of it's just not good. And like, listen, you gotta have seasoning in your food. Like, can you please season the food? You cannot just put some bland chili together. It don't work. Garlic powder and salt and pepper are not the only seasonings. So
That's funny.
But it is the last year they had some good performances down there. They had some good concerts happening when we were down there. So it was
I'm
it's a
excited
good
about it. They
environment.
got the social
social drinking area.
Yeah. You know, I'll be down there for a little bit.
That's such a weird thing in Jackson when you go. It's so weird. So we went to Arts Beats and Eats last weekend, which is another music event that happens here in Jackson. And there was 5 stages, I think, scattered throughout downtown. But weirdly, Jackson, they had a 420 friendly area this year at Arts Beats and Eats. And it was very weird because they don't usually do stuff like that. But it was funny to me because they enclosed it, right? They had to because you got to be 21 and up. But then they put like this black tarp looking stuff around it so you couldn't see inside. I said, I guess they're trying to protect the people that don't want other people knowing they smoke or that they're 420 friendly or whatever.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So they had it like kind of enclosed, but it was right central downtown, right across from the bus station.
Okay.
And they've never really, I don't know of any place that's really kind of done that outdoor 420 friendly stuff in Jackson. So it was a little different, but hey, Jackson's on the come up. They're doing things a little different around here.
Downtown.
So
I think it's super nice.
The social district is a little bit newer, but it is cool to be able to see people just freely
drinking,
just being able to enjoy our downtown and not be stationary in one spot because they got to drink. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean y'all get to take your bottles downtown and drink. So go learn what the social district is.
Yeah.
You don't just get to take your bottle downtown and pop it. You got to have a cup that says social district on it. So make sure you're within the rules of social district when you're down there. But yes, the chili cook-off is amazing. What time does it start? I know the chili tasting starts at,
I think it's like 2 to 4, right?
2 to 4 or something like that. Yeah, it's a weird time. Like the chili cook-off starts
to go at like
noon and then the food tasting is at like 2. It's $5 a bracelet. They'll have tents, I think, like at the end, the middle, and the other end, where you can go get your bracelet and you can taste all the chili in the world. I got a tip for you guys if you want a good tip. Take a cupcake tray with you so you can put all your different chilies in it and carry it and go sit down and eat your chili.
That is a really good tip.
It is. And you know why we know? Because last year people were doing it and we were pissed that we weren't. We're like, dang, that's a good idea. Especially if you get the little mini cupcake pans where there's like 24
you put them all.
Because they're all just little cups. I mean, you just get a little taste. You know what I'm saying? But cool. That's dope. The chili cook-off is a cool event, and Jackson puts on for that. There's a lot of chili down there that day. So that'll be exciting. So season actually games start next May, so we got a little while for that. God damn, it's already October though.
I know.
My God.
Quick.
We only have 3 months left of the year. We're at the last quarter of 2024. I don't know how we got here. It is really crazy that the end of the year is here, but somebody about to come in the door? Like, what's happening? Ain't got no steps out there. Listen, if somebody falling down the steps, that's a bad day because ain't no steps out there. There's one step. What else is happening for you?
Well, we're gonna do a trunk or treat, but we're not sure. We're gonna probably team up with somebody, probably Beacon or something, or somebody down, and maybe we'll even do a couple of them. But I'd like to get the guys to come out, suit up.
21 Blooms, and October 19th from 4 to 6. We need more people.
Okay, we'll be there.
I'll touch base with you about it.
That's what we're gonna do next. Just try to get out in the community.
Yep, absolutely. I'll be out there. That's who we teamed up with for the Sidewalk Chalk event. They invited me to come out, so I'm gonna decorate my truck. It's not gonna be no Michigan stuff, I can tell you that. Definitely not gonna be any
Go blue,
Michigan
baby.
stuff.
Where's that?
Don't you? If you boo me on my own show, you're fired. I'm firing the boss if he boo me on my show. I'm telling y'all right now. Definitely won't be no Michigan stuff happening on my car. But yeah, there's actually a lot of trunk or treat stuff happening. I know. I don't know if they're still taking people, but there's a big one at the fair. I don't know, American One Event Center. I think October 22nd. So you might want to check in with them and see if that's an open one. And I know there's a couple. There's one at Jax's Playhouse. They said they have about 1,100 kids come through that one.
Okay.
So that one's huge. And
yeah,
then
I gotta start hopping on those because that's right on the corner too.
Oh yeah, literally. So yeah, I'll be out there, but yeah, I'll touch base with you about that because I'm sure they're still looking for people. For the trunk or treat stuff, because the community stuff that's the funnest stuff, you guys, to go watch the kids. I love Halloween. My house has been decorated for over a month. Like I went a little crazy this year. I have like a 15-foot spider web in front of my house with a big ass 8-foot spider, and then my whole porch. So John, he said, "You got your tree? You got a tree up?" Yeah, I got a tree up. I got a Halloween tree up, and all my crazy Halloween decorations. It's exciting though. You're doing a lot of things outside of the Battlehawks, though. You are doing some other coaching. So let's just talk about that because you're not sitting still. He said when the Battlehawks were done, he was taking a break. He took 7 days off and then announced that he was coaching somebody else. So who are you coaching in your off season?
We're doing the East Jackson Youth League, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade tackle. And it's actually really cool because they haven't had the tackle program for many years. So a lot of the kids, all of the kids except for 2 or 3 of them, have never played tackle football before.
Oh, okay.
And we're halfway through the season now. We haven't won a game yet, but we are lower on numbers. Like we only got 18 kids. Most teams have like 28 kids.
Right.
And Western had like 40.
I bet they did.
They had like 3 teams. But the coolest thing about it to me is we're not out there with whiteboards and stuff like that. Like these kids are learning everything right off the memory. Like they are lining up to the ball and running plays, understanding what they're supposed to be doing. And that's the biggest part is just teaching football. Yeah,
the fundamentals. I mean, they need the basics at that age anyways. 4th, 5th, and 6th grade is really when they start to either develop a true love for football or they decide it's just really not for them. Those are the kind of those critical years. I don't know. Many people don't know my oldest daughter played football 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. She was a hell of a football player. She got to Parkside. They didn't really play her much, and she ended up giving up on football, and she would have been an amazing football player. But Parkside kind of shitted on her. So she quit, but nonetheless, her 4th, 5th, and 6th grade years were very critical in her love of the sport at that time. You know what I mean? And that's the years that I think they decide, and a lot of times it is the coaching staff or the people that are around them that either inspire them to love the game or make them fear and dislike the game, right? Depending on how that overall picture looks. So for them, they probably feel like they got a for real celebrity or something as a coach because they know you're coaching a big team.
I will say when we had our first practice, because me and Sky weren't going to commit to it right away because we just got done with all our stuff. It was a long season.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you guys really going to coach us? And just to see how them kids really look up to us. And when we had the players out there, like they were like, oh, you guys are semi-pro players. Like they really, really look up to us. So we instantly like, oh yeah, we're doing this. And shout out to Sky because I'm nice, overall. And I'm like, all right, these are kids. We got to, in the first time we got to be, nice to,
right.
Like, after like the first week, Sky flipped the switch and he's like, nope, being tough. Here we go. And that's the thing. They are kids. They will be like,
but they'll run you over. Them kids, they will run you
be like,
over.
Oh, I'm hurt or oh, I'm tired. And then 5 seconds later, they're over there playing recess ball and going balls to the wall. And you're like, okay, so that's why Sky always says, are you hurt or are you injured?
Right.
Because you're just hurt. You're not injured.
Right.
And no, it's been great, being hard on them. We do preach winning. We haven't won yet. We're going to get there, though. I think, we finally got some in-conference games. We just faced Lumen and Western and Homer, all those teams, that are just powerhouses anyways. So now we got Cascade Conference coming up. We got Hanover this weekend. We got Michigan Center next weekend. And then we don't know who we face for the last week. But we're also going to try to do something at the end of the season, do like a party thing after the game, and I'm hoping I get some of the players to come out and suit up because, like I said, they love them.
Right. That it gives them something to inspire to be, right. It's attainable. They're meeting somebody that's doing it as an older person in their own community, right? So it's an attainable goal for them. When something becomes tangible, it's easier to reach to people. It's like, oh, you're right here, so I can do that, right? And so it's a good and I love the players. You guys have great players on your team that go out and give back to the community, and I love that about your team. You got some great guys over there that do that. Where is your game this weekend in case anyone wants to come out and watch you guys coach East Jackson?
We're actually at Homer this weekend.
Oh, at Homer.
We're
How far is Homer? Where is Homer?
It's past Parma, right? Isn't that where it's at? I think.
Oh, so it's not super far then.
No, it's like 30 minutes.
I was gonna say 40.
Yeah, like
Okay.
40. It's
All right, well,
it's a little bit of a drive.
A little bit of drive. What? That's where he'll be this weekend, and that Saturday.
Sunday. Sundays.
That's weird for a school to.
Yeah,
Schools play on Sundays. Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Sundays are not for that.
Yeah, as I say.
Football Sunday.
Yeah, but that means I want to be home watching NFL football,
Yeah.
not watching the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I don't even watch football like that anymore. I love football, but I like college football. I'm going to stick to my green and white always. I'm going to always stay on that side of things. But I know. I rock it hard. It's tatted on me. It's for life. It's never going anywhere. But nonetheless, I'm happy to see that you're continuing your love for football and your love for coaching, and keeping that going with the kids in the community, because it does give them, like I said, something attainable. They feel like they can actually keep going and reach the next level, if they want to, right? We're not going to hold you guys up too much, too long after an hour. It looked like Cameron's on camera with us, but he not. I had to look like, what is happening? Y'all on camera, gang. No, I'm just playing. Anything else you want to leave with the community before you go?
No, just come check us out, man. You know, it's like I said, this is going to be something great this year. I think we're going back to get the championship, and are you guys
staying in the same conference or the same league, or what's happening there?
Probably. We want our revenge on Lightning and Fury. You know, we want to go back.
You want to go back and play the same people?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
You know,
listen, I'm coming back to the Lansing game because that was another one that I just. Whew.
Hopefully, we have that at home this year.
That game was something different, y'all. That game was something else. Listen, I didn't know how to feel about the game other than I was like, let's just get up and go closer to the car. Let's just go closer to the car. I don't know what's going to happen right now, but let's just go closer to the car. It was a weird environment because it went from like everyone looked like they were about to fuck each other up on the field to then everybody was cool as hell at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on right now? Do they like each other or not?
It's grown men, you know.
I know. Listen, it got heated in Lansing for a second.
At the end of the day, you know, you got to leave it on the field. It's football, baby.
Listen, I think what stressed me out is one of your players, and I have to show who, I don't know his name right off. He came up to the fence. He was like, yo, get my kids and go to the car right now. I was like, oh, Janiyah, it's time to go. That's one of the players. It's time to get up out of here. He knows something.
Yeah. Lightning game was crazy.
But yeah, by the time we got to the other side of the field, everybody was cool and shaking hands. So I was like, oh, everybody good. We good. Everybody's straight. But it was an exciting season. I'm glad, you know, I got to meet you guys, and now you've been here plenty of times. So I appreciate you always coming back to the couch with us. You already know if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. I'm going to start charging folks though here pretty soon. So you're going to have to add me to payroll.
No, like I said, we're still looking for people for personnel, you know, trainers, stat, all that. If you just want to be a part of the team, you know, come out and help us. We could use the help, and we're also still looking for sponsorships too.
Sponsorships.
That's gonna be something heavy that I'm gonna be getting on for the next couple of months, end of the year and stuff like that. And I just want to be ready for next season.
Yeah. So if you guys know anyone,
People want to sponsor, how do they reach out, or how do they
oh yeah, and if you just the best way to reach out is to get a hold of Jackson Battlehawks on Facebook, or just get a hold of me on Facebook, Brandon Workman. I mean, you know, all things through me. So
everything's to Brandon. So Brandon Workman, Jackson Battlehawks football. If there's anything you can do to help contribute in any kind of way, or know anybody that would be interested in sponsoring, definitely reach out and have that conversation. It's a continue program that he's going to build. I don't see the Battlehawks going anywhere anytime soon, but it's definitely going to take the love and the work of the community to work together to continue to build that program. It isn't free to run a team. Many of you know that it takes a village to really get that done. So we appreciate you guys tapping in with us. As I always tell you, don't drink and drive. If y'all need a ride this weekend, let somebody know, call somebody, reach out to somebody. If you're feeling any type of way, any kind of harm, you're feeling like any kind of self-harm, please reach out to somebody. We were told earlier, 988 will get you to somebody, to a mental health, I believe, crisis line. So definitely tap into that. I thank Shelley again for coming on the show. I thank Brandon for coming on the show. Of course, my whole CMV team. My girl Becky on her way to the Bahamas if the hurricane don't stop her. So shout out to her and her family that are en route right now, that they get there safe. But I love y'all. Like I said, if you want to see me this weekend, check me out at Highs Fest in Morenci at the Morenci Event Center. I will be in the building with my wonderful brand, showing that shit all the way off. Tap in with me, y'all. Next week, I got a wonderful guest, Mo Williams, coming from, I believe he lives in Lansing now, but anyway, he'll probably be flying in from somewhere to join me on my show next week. So tap in with me then. I will see y'all next week. Don't forget to hit the end live, end stream, sir. That's you. We out of here. Love y'all.